St. Louis is the gateway to America, running along the mighty Mississippi River. Tonight, the mighty machines of Monster Jam roll into the Dome as former world champions and an all-star lineup try to cool down the red-hot start of the Raging Bull. Who will step up to slay this beast? Perfect! This is Stadium Championship Series Red. This is round 5. This is Monster Jam.
Unbelievable! Yes! Oh, there's some huge air. He can save it right there. He can save it. Holy cow! Awesome move. Look at that. And he's got it. Cowabunga. Big air out of the box. Beautiful. Yeah!
The road to World Finals begins now.
Welcome to St. Louis, Missouri. Tonight, 25,000 strong have ventured out into the Missouri cold for what is sure to be a red-hot evening inside the Dome at America's Center. Good evening, everyone. I'm Scott Jordan with Colt Stevens, and tonight we join up with Stadium Championship Series Red. Now, when this lineup was announced, it was filled with former world champions Anderson, Mintz, LeDuc, Gautier, but Colt. After 2 rounds, it's El Toro Loco's Mark List that sits alone atop the leaderboard.
Scott, there was no doubt everybody was very surprised that Mark List was coming out on top here on Stadium Series Red. We got all these star-studded line of drivers on here. Mark List coming out of arenas, only doing a few stadiums, but right now he's the one to beat.
And Mark's experience has predominantly been in the arenas, and prior to a few weeks ago, he hadn't been in a truck in nearly 2 years. That's not exactly a recipe for success in a stadium series.
We always talk about seat time. Seat time is important, and you think Mark List having all that time off, he would be behind, but he must have been doing something in his off time to get his mind right, to figure out how to drive these trucks, because he's absolutely killing it so far.
Let's take a look at the driver lineup for Stadium Championship Series Red. Colt, who do you have your eye on tonight?
You know, I can't go against my buddy Adam Anderson. He threw it down here in St. Louis last year in Megalodon. He's back in Gravedigger. Super excited to see what he has in store. I'm watching Adam Anderson.
Now let's take a look at the season points standings through the first 2 events of the season. Only 13 points separate the top 5 drivers. And we talked about Mark List, but does anything on this leaderboard surprise you?
Here's the thing, it's Monster Jam. You never know what's going to happen. Being at the top is one of the hardest positions to be in. Mark List has all these top drivers nipping at his heels, so it's going to be very interesting to see what goes on here in St. Louis.
Right now, let's join our own Leslie Mears, who is trackside with the series points leader in this UNOH pit report.
That's right, guys. So Mark List on top of the standings, and there's a lot of pressure with coming in #1, but that smile on your face shows maybe a little bit different attitude this season. What kind of changed your perspective coming into this year?
Well, definitely having a lot more experience being around the industry. Taking a 2-year break was the best thing that's happened to me. It allowed me to see things differently, and I'm coming this year just appreciating to be where I am more than what I did before. Happy about performing, representing the Latinos more than ever before, and I'm having fun. And when you're having fun, everything seems to work out the right way. So I just want to keep with this momentum going, keep having fun, and I just want to hear everybody cheering and be as happy as I am.
Thank you, Leslie. Now, Mark has thrived in the underdog role. We'll find out tonight how he does with the bullseye on his back. Let's take a look at the event breakdown for round 5. 3 competitions. We start off with racing, then head to the Great Clip Skills Challenge, and finish with freestyle. Points are based on finish tonight. 12 go to the winner, and then it goes down from there. The driver with the most points at the end of the event is crowned the overall event champion. Now it's time for track talk. And here in St. Louis, we've gone back to a Chicago-style track, which over the first couple events have resulted in some exciting races, but they've added a few twists and turns. So, Colt, what can we look forward to tonight in racing?
Yeah, we've seen this Chicago style plenty of times, but one thing about it, we're in St. Louis. We all talk about the dirt here. It's very unpredictable. Probably going to see a little bit of ruts, some holes form as we go later and later in racing. Another thing that I noticed down there is we don't have the normal race lanes. There's a little bit of a double there. So I know we talk about drivers trying to pick the race lane that's going to give you the smallest jump on your second hit, but they're going to have to be very careful not to come up short because that could potentially be a hazard and roll them over early.
Let's take a look at the racing bracket. In round one. It'll be Bad Company versus Overboard, Max D against Saigon Shaker, Lucas Stabilizer, and Jester and Black Pearl going up against Grey Clips Mohawk Warrior, Gravedigger, Blue Thunder, El Toro Loco, and Kraken. All get the first round buys. What do you expect to see in that racing bracket? What do you have your eye on?
You know, I really watching Black Pearl, Cole Vennard. We saw Bryce Kenny having a lot of issues in the previous rounds, but you know what? He's out there. He's on a vengeance. Cole's laying down some bad fast times though, so both drivers are going to have their hands full. I'm excited to see that race.
Well, let's not wait any longer. Let's head down to the track for our first racing matchup of the night. It'll be John Gordon in Bad Company going at it with Jamie Garner in Overboard. We got a green light, and here we go with racing.
Man, look at that corner by John, nice and tight. 90 coming out, great job there.
Smoke coming out of the back of Bad Company, slight edge on Overboard right now.
Oh, look how deep Overboard is, that's gonna cost him.
Here we come across the finish. You said it would cost him, but he was able to recover, so Overboard gets the win. Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay.
Overboard absolutely drives that truck out of that corner. I thought he was going to be way too deep to come back, but he floorboards that truck, propelling him across the finish line first. Great job by Overboard.
Next matchup, Tom Mentz and Max D going to take the red lane. Ryan Disharoon and Saigon Shaker going to take the gray lane.
Saigon Shaker looks like maybe a rear steer issue.
He had some issues yesterday in practice, so Tom Mentz gets halfway through faster.
Got an inside tires up. Oh, Disharoon's over.
Disharoon goes over. He gets a great save. Tom Mentz has to slow down. He will cross the finish line. So Ryan Disharoon giving us a little preview of Flying Ryan. Tom Mentz is going to win it. Take us through the super glue glued to the action replay.
Yeah, Disharoon does have no rear steer, so I think he definitely had an issue going into that corner and had to just throw it in because he wasn't able to use the rear steer. Hiked him up, but he was able to save it.
Our third matchup here in round one, Matt Pagliarulo and Jester. And we get our first look at Cynthia Gauthier in the talk of the business, the beautiful new Lucas Stabilizer. So Jester gets across the ramp quicker.
Man, Cynthia is on a roll here. Some great corners.
She has not beaten Matt Pagliarulo yet this year. Actually, both of them looking for their first win this season.
Cynthia stays kind of tight.
And Cynthia Gauthier will get her first racing win of the season.
Nice time. I think that's your fastest yet.
We did it! We at least had one win in racing!
Our final matchup in round one, Cole Vennard and Black Pearl up against Bryce Kenny, Grey Clips Mohawk Warrior. These two have a lot of history in stadium racing. They met 10 times, the series tied 5-5, but Cole Vennard been on a great streak this year, 3-1 with a racing win. Bryce Kenny does get a good jump off the line. He is out in front.
Cole with some great corners over there. Definitely has an advantage right now.
He is caught up with that start from Grey Clips Mohawk Warrior. Here we go, final turn.
Bryce is on it.
Bryce is turning it on, and Bryce Kenny getting his first racing round win of the season. What a run. Let's take a look at the bracket after round one. Moving in round two, Adam Anderson and Gravedigger will go up against Overboard. Todd Leduc and Blue Thunder against Max D. Mark Liss and El Toro Loco against the Lucas Stabilizer. And Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken against Grey Clips Mohawk Warrior. A lot of action so far in round one, but we move on to round two. We get our first look at the series points leader as El Toro Loco hits the track next. Welcome back to St. Louis for round two of Monster Jam Racing. Adam Anderson and Gravedigger will head to the track. He will go up against Jamie Garner and Overboard. Cole, Adam Anderson has struggled so far this year in racing. He doesn't have a win.
That's unheard of from Adam Anderson, especially in this style racing. He's one of the great at Chicago style racing.
Through the first turn, Adam Anderson with a sizable lead right now over Jamie Garner.
Great corner by Adam.
And Adam out to a big lead, comes across the red ramp, and he is over the finish line. So now Adam Anderson follows Bryce Kenny's lead and Cynthia Gauthier's lead. He now has his first racing win of the year.
Nice job, buddy. Nice job.
Second matchup, Tom Mentz and Max D advancing from round one. Todd Leduc and Blue Thunder. Tom the Duke beating Tom Meents to the first chalk line. So here we go around the second turn.
Tom has no rear steer. Seems like he went around that corner right there. Didn't touch the rear steer one time.
Hitting the brakes a little bit.
Definitely an issue for Max D.
And he's going to win it. So Tom Meents, regardless of the issues, Tom Meents with a big win over Tom the Duke. Wow.
Now here's the question. He's going to have to get something fixed in that truck if he wants to continue going the next rounds. He's got a lot more heavy hitters to come.
Next up in round 2, the series points leader, Mark Liss and El Toro Loco. He goes to the red lane as well, and he goes up against Cynthia Gauthier in a Lucas stabilizer. Mark Liss stays low, has the jump around the first turn.
Oh, Cynthia hits the turn pod. Uh-oh. Mark's getting up on 2 wheels.
And he's got it saved. Will it cost him? Here we go, final turn. Photo finish here. We're going to take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay.
Watch Mark come across his finish line. He goes towards the inside. He's kind of loses a little bit of control, plows right through that turn pod.
And Mark Liss, El Toro Loco, by the skin of his teeth, wins the race. Before our next race, let's check in with Leslie Mears. Leslie.
Guys, Bryce Kenny told me that his biggest focus this season is on racing, that Chicago-style racing has never been his strong suit, and he has to do well there if he's going to continue on through the events. He also said that if he gets results early in racing, it puts him in a better mindset to have a better event.
Final matchup, Nick Pagliarulo Kraken, Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior.
You know, it definitely seems like red lane's where it's at, Scott. Every race, one so far is red lane.
Bryce Kenny now in a groove, trying to hold up. Pagliarulo's going to go into the turn pod, and Bryce Kenny makes it happen. All right, now semifinals are set. Gravedigger against Max D. El Toro Loco against Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. So here we go into the semifinal round. Adam Anderson takes the red lane. Tom Meents takes the gray lane. It's Max D against Gravedigger. We are off and running, and Adam Anderson, the first to the chalk into the turn.
Look how Tom is picking his inside tire up.
Yeah, notice how wide he goes and brings it back in tight. Here we go, Adam Anderson putting on the moves here in the final turn. And it is Gravedigger that will advance. We move to the other side of the bracket here in our second semifinal matchup. Mark Liss, El Toro Loco, Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. And Bryce Kenny now, great jump in that red lane once again.
Bryce nice and tight.
He is tight, but Mark Liss now with the advantage.
Uh-oh, he's hiked up though.
Yeah, he lands rough again in that same spot. Here comes Bryce Kenny. And he's got it.
That was it. That's that red lane for you, Scott. That's exactly what we talk about as drivers. Coming through there, Mark Liss had the advantage, but he hit this red lane, and it shot him way too deep in that corner. He had to gather the truck back up. Unfortunately, that's what cost him. Sometimes it comes down to lane choice.
Our finals are set. It's going to be Adam Anderson and Gravedigger against Bryce Kenny and Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. And we are down to the final 2 trucks in the racing bracket. Who's going to come away with the win? Find out next. We are back at the Dome at America Center for the Monster Jam Racing Final. You have Adam Anderson and Gravedigger Colt once again taking the red lane. And Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior now in the gray lane. So Adam Anderson, this lane has worked out well for him, and he has absolutely owned Bryce Kenny in racing in his stadium career, 18-8 lifetime.
Yeah, that's not good for Bryce, because Bryce being over there in that gray lane, he's got to hope that Adam Anderson makes a mistake and he can drive an absolutely perfect lap around this Chicago style, because if not, Adam Anderson's going to easily walk away with this one.
Here we go, off the line. So Gravedigger again in that red lane, so smooth.
Bryce with some great corners now, but look at this race lane.
Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, Bryce Kenny with the advantage halfway through. He goes wide though, wide.
Yeah, easy.
Adam Anderson gets it, so Adam Anderson will get the racing win.
Awesome job, dude. You were rolling.
Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay.
As Bryce comes into this last corner, he's hiking up on 2 wheels, gets it back down, but that's going to cost him.
Standing by on the track with our racing winner, it's Leslie Mears.
Adam, for you, you probably have some of the most experience on this tacky St. Louis dirt. How much did that play a factor tonight in your racing win?
That was a huge factor in tonight's racing win. I was on the radio with the crew, and I was telling Jeff, I was like, man, it's getting a little bit slick out there, so I was kind of nervous. Bryce was laying down some good, clean passes, but the times weren't there. My times kept growing faster and faster. I actually slowed down in the final round. It didn't matter. I still outran him.
Taking the first one of the night.
Thank you, Leslie. So Adam Anderson getting 12 points as we take a look at our first overall event leaderboard. Gravedigger up top, Bryce Kenny, great racing bracket for him. He gets 11, Tom Mintz with 10, Mark List with 9, and Todd LeDuc with 8. That's our first BKT overall event top 5. Next up in St. Louis was the Great Clip Skills Challenge, and in this competition, drivers had the option to attempt 2 technical maneuvers on 2 wheels or opt to do a donut. They were judged by fans for the first time tonight at judgeszone.com. Now, fans were looking for creativity, skill, and execution, looking for some stoppies, some moonwalks, some bicycles, and with 12 points on the line, let's take a look at our top competitors. In third, it was Mark List. El Toro Loco takes a stoppie, switches angles into the nose wheelie.
He's got the smoke going on the bull. Great execution by Mark List.
And then in second, Adam Anderson with a huge slap wheelie across the pod into a stoppie.
Getting wild, getting reckless.
And your winner of the Great Clip Skills Challenge, Tom Mintz and Max D, a stoppie into a huge nose wheelie across the big St. Louis floor.
Tom is just better at driving on these 2 front tires than he is at driving on all 4.
After his big win in the Great Clip Skills Challenge, Leslie Mears caught up with Tom Mintz.
So, Tom, for you, it was a little harried getting you back out here for the Skills Challenge. Were you worried about completing that competition with your overheating radiator?
We were. We had an airlock, which we needed to bleed it. And here you got to go outside to take on fuel. A lot of challenges have to happen in a hurry. Luckily, we have a great crew back there. Steve Lashinsky, my new crew chief, is doing an awesome job. He's been tasked with a lot, but we love him. And, he's turning into a diamond. He's got a lot of pressure on him, and he's rising to that pressure, making a perfect diamond.
Let's now take a look at our overall leaderboard after 2 competitions. Adam Anderson with 23, Tom Mintz 22, Mark List with 19, Bryce Kenny with 17, and Todd LeDuc with 15 points. 2 down at the Dome. Colton and I take a look at all the Monster Jam action around the league and catch up with Leslie in the pits, all that and more with our St. Jude halftime report. Everyone at Monster Jam is proud to be partners with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Become a partner in hope and receive a custom St. Jude Monster Jam This Shirt Saves Lives t-shirt. Text Monster Jam to 785-833 or visit stjude.org/Monster Jam to learn more. Welcome to the St. Jude halftime report in St. Louis. We are halfway through round 5 of the Monster Jam season. I'm Scott Jordan alongside Colt Stevens. And Colt, so far it's been the Adam Anderson show. First in racing, second in the Great Clip Skills Challenge. But Tom Mintz right there, 1 point behind him. So Colt, in a building so rich with Monster Jam history, it's only fitting that the greatest rivalry in Monster Jam history has taken center stage.
Yeah, it's no surprise to me that we got these 2 battling it out. That's the way it's been for many years. But we got Gravedigger's 40th anniversary going on, so Adam Anderson, I think, is going to throw down one bad freestyle, but we're in close to one of Tom Mintz's home tracks. This is one place where he comes, his family's here, everything's close to home, so this is going to be a very interesting freestyle.
Now, a driver having his best event so far this season is Great Clips Mohawk Warriors Bryce Kenny, and he is with Leslie as we go downstairs for this UNOH halftime pit report.
Bryce, you were really moving and racing tonight. You said that's what you need to get the momentum going. How did that kind of play into skills?
Well, I think I was just trying to make sure and get that first round win of the season after such a tough start to the season last weekend in San Antonio. So I just needed to get that monkey off my back in a way. It felt great to go out there and get some round wins. I hated losing to Adam Anderson in the finals. I want that one back, Adam. I'm coming for you. But really setting up for the Great Clip Skills Challenge, I wanted to come out there and do something a little bit different. I was right after Tom and right after Mark List, who do a bunch of nose wheelies just like I do. So I wanted to try something different. It didn't work out, but that's okay. It's all about trying to do something a little bit different, give these fans something entertaining, and I'm having fun, but I'm ready for freestyle too.
Take a look around the league. Arena Championship Series East, Hampton, Virginia, covered in snow right now. So first event this afternoon. Zach Garner competing on this series this weekend in Wildside. He won the racing competition. Cody Saucier won the Great Clips Two-Wheel Skills Challenge. But Brianna Mahan in Whiplash Code comes out, wins Donuts Freestyle and her first event championship. So Cody does extend his series point lead, but Brianna Mahan now in the conversation.
Yeah, it was just a matter of time before we saw Brianna Mahan coming away with a win. She's one of the best drivers in Monster Jam. Great in arenas, great in stadiums. It's about that time.
Arena Championship Series West in Sacramento, California. Now, Brandon Vincent has dominated this series. Tristan England had some catching up to do, and he did it in a big way. Came in winning his donut competition, freestyle, and his third event championship. So, it's been Vincent and England back and forth with Brandon having the advantage, but Tristan England is starting to get it done, get on a roll.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Tristan England is one of the best in arenas, but so is Brandon Vincent. But I think the upper hand is Tristan is really good at skills. I saw a video of Tristan earlier this week doing some really crazy skills move. He's just comfortable in that position, driving around on two wheels, and that might be the ticket he needs to come away with that championship.
And an update here in St. Louis in Stadium Championship Series Red. Adam Anderson Gravedigger has the points lead right now after two competitions, 23 points for him. Tom Mintz with 22, Mark List 19, Bryce Kenny with 17, and Todd LeDuc with 15. Now, for the 40th anniversary season of Gravedigger Cult, only fitting that the newest driver of the black and green wrecking machine is Dennis Anderson's youngest son, Weston.
We all knew it was only a matter of time before the last Anderson son came out to drive for Monster Jam, and it's about time. We're excited that he's here.
We wanted you to get to know one of the youngest stars in the sport, so enjoy this exclusive look at Weston Anderson.
I'm Weston Anderson, the newest driver of Gravedigger. Growing up with monster trucks all around me, it's almost a given that I'm going to be a monster truck driver one day. My dad trained me in a mega truck for this day. Its name was Bog Hog. And going through those training days, I knew that one day I would eventually end up in a Gravedigger truck. Not only was I racing Bog Hog, but I would take King Sling out on the track and I would tear that thing into pieces every single weekend, putting on a show for everybody. Going into an arena is definitely something different for me. My driving style is a lot like Ryan's. My throttle rhythm is Dennis Anderson's right foot exactly. I'm used to driving in big wide open fields, so it's definitely something that I'm gonna have to critique in my driving style. Listening and watching my sister Kristen drive in the arenas for the past 3 years has been a lifesaver for me in this opportunity. She shows me how to drive in these arenas. Growing up, if it wasn't for Dennis Anderson being my dad, I probably wouldn't be here today. I saw nothing but Adam, Ryan, and Kristen succeed. I've seen Adam and Ryan take home championships at the World Finals. I've seen Kristen take home many of event championships. And hopefully one day I can be out there on that track with them. And if it wasn't for him, I don't think me, Adam, Ryan, or Kristen would be here. Going into my rookie season, it being the 40th anniversary for Gravedigger, I definitely have all the confidence in my driving ability, and I'm just gonna have to develop myself into an even better driver than I am now to come out on top in my series.
We are not done here in St. Louis as the final competition of the night is coming up. Hold on to your seats as freestyle is next. Welcome back to Monster Jam for the second half of round 5 here in St. Louis. So we are going to get things started right now with freestyle. Next up is John Gordon in Bad Company out of Hiram, Georgia. And here he goes. That's what I said I wanted to see. John Gordon.
Right off the ski jump.
Right out of his stall over the steep side of the step up and swinging Bad Company back around to the red race lane. John won his first stadium freestyle competition in Atlanta last year, 2021. Great freestyle run for him back in Atlanta. We were on hand for that.
All right, yes, sir. Get some. Stepping onto the pod. Now he's going to have to shut her down. Nice work there. Getting a little wild.
All over the place. You said wild and wacky.
Slap wheelie. Nice brake check. Caught the pod, the race lane pod over there. Wasn't able to get it up on the back two tires.
Truck leaning a little bit to the right. Comes back around the red race lane again. Second time for John Gordon on this side. A little wild action across the pod, too. Cross-threading through the middle. Raising the backflip. Now he's got an angle he likes coming back over. Here's the step up.
Nice downside. Definitely checked up coming to that step up. I thought I was going to hit it with a lot of authority, but checks up, downsides it perfectly. Backside race lane.
Now he's feeling it. Barely misses the backflip ramp, coming back across the pod. Single log for John Gordon. We got a great view of the A-Pack right down here in front of us. Can't wait to see that thing in action tonight.
Oh, man, looks like he's going for it.
He is going for it, baby. Crystal ball time. Lining up, gets to the 8-pack, accelerates, and it hits it. Oh! Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay.
Comes up, sets up, going a little bit slow, but actually worked out for him. Stays nice and low. Unfortunately, bounces off those front 2 tires back to the rear, and then just gives it a little blurb of the throttle at the wrong time, puts him over on his lid.
Before Tom Meents heads back to the track, let's send it down to Leslie with an update on Max D.
Guys, Tom Meents' word of the night is solid after lapping the track on his bicycle out there. He said he kind of picked out his moves, and he said he wanted to make some solid hits early, get some solid momentum, and then hit the backflip and go crazy.
Good step up here. He's going to check up. Downside. Nice. I love when you see the trucks and the drivers set the trucks up in a way that they downside things to get the timing just right. Oh, slap really from Max D. Don't see that very often with that front engine truck.
Coming into freestyle, Tom Meents trailing Adam Anderson by 1 point for the overall event lead. So a lot on the line here for him as he comes into the pod and gets it. Oh, nose down.
Picking that inside tire up off the ski jump. See how abrupt that bottom is on that ramp? So you have to adjust the truck for that, because what's happening is the suspension is just completely compressing at the bottom of the ramp, and as you leave the face, it's completely going out, and that'll sometimes send you nose over. So you have to adjust for that and try and drive with the throttle all the way off that ramp.
And Cole, I know we've talked about, you know, the positioning of the motor in that truck and how it affects the weight balance, but he's come off these jumps really awkward, almost to one side, consistently on the landings.
The problem is, guys, is so steep. These ramps are very steep on one side, and that Max D truck just naturally wants to nose over, so Tom is really having to drive this truck to keep it and try and keep it leveled out. Look at that. First time we've seen him go that way, and that might be why.
And lands it. So Tom Meents with some serious skill right there. And he is pulling out. He's won 6 freestyle competitions in this building, trying to make it 7 as he lines up for the backflip ramp, sends it in, and here goes Max D.
Oh, yeah, perfect. The professor laying it down on that backflip.
What's wrong? No, you blew out the shocks on the back. That's why they shut you off.
And that is going to do it. So what a way to end the freestyle run for the professor. Tom Meents, take us through the super glue to the action replay.
Watch this backflip. Big air backflip right to all 4 tires. Just absolutely textbook.
9.572 is the score for Tom Meents. Here comes Cole Bernard in Black Pearl.
Yeah, give her a little brake check, Cole. Man, this ramp is really hard to see right here. You know, you can't really see the paint anymore going towards that center pod, and there's 2 different ramp face angles. Luckily, Cole was able to depict them and hit the right one.
You know, Cole Bernard, another former crew chief, formerly crewing for Adam Anderson, big part of that Digger family. You and I have talked about that for years, how tight he is with the Andersons. And that's Cole Bernard now comes off the step up and saves it. Great save for Black Pearl, wow.
He's going to feel that one in the morning. Oh, he's got something broken in the front end, though.
That's not stopping him right now. He comes back over on the red lane side, trying to push this thing to the limit.
That right front, keep an eye on that right front. I think something's going on with it. Uh-oh. Nice recovery, though.
Bicycle save for Colvinard.
Oh, he's heading for the backflip already. I think he knows something's wrong with the truck and he wants to get it over with. Another perfect backflip. Send it now, Cole. Come on. Go, go, go.
30 seconds left. A lot of time on the clock, and he does send it right onto the pod and right back down for more.
Spinning it around. This is the best run so far, I think, Scott. We got a backflip. We got some big air. He needs a couple more big airs. I love the momentum. I love the speed.
Accelerating to the pod. Gets the nose down.
Got the wow factor in there. I mean, these judges need to be paying attention because this is a winning run right here.
This is a huge run for Colvinard. Trying to get his first freestyle win of the season into a wheelie combo.
Great job, and he's going to park it.
Take a look at the super glue. Glue to the action replay for Black Pearl. Some great saves and a backflip. You called it.
Yeah, you can see how the truck's leaning here like there might be an issue, and I think Cole recognized that, and he's like, you know what, I need to get a backflip in if I want to get a good score, and then if whatever happens after that, the tire wants to come off, whatever it may be, I can deal with that later. But I think that was a great strategy, great driving by Colvinard.
Yeah, here comes your series points leader, El Toro Loco's Mark List. He hits the first jump in front of him, the gray side jammer. Mark does have a freestyle win already on the season.
Uh-oh, 2 wheels already. A little hot going in that corner. Like the momentum, uh-oh.
Just catches the back 2 tires, but another save. We've seen a lot of saves tonight with some catches there on the back 2 tires. Clipping his Mark now sends it. Oh, and he gets another one.
Ooh, that was a close.
A lot of people surprised by Mark List's early success on this series, but he's been successful in arenas. He's been successful internationally.
A little too much brake check on that one, nose the truck over, but recovered nicely.
He has proved he can get it done, and now he's trying to continue.
Man, he's on the big air move, though. He's done 2 big airs to the pod already so far in this freestyle. Truck is off.
Series points lead is dwindled down to 2 over Gravedigger here in freestyle.
What is going on? Can he refire? I'm looking at the tech officials right now, trying to see if they can, if they're seeing something wrong with the truck. Is something broke? No, they're telling him to fire. They're telling him to fire.
This would be huge if he did not continue this freestyle run. I'm on the edge of my seat here.
Mark is not happy. I see him throwing his hands inside that truck. Unfortunately, tough break for Mark List. Technical difficulties with the truck has taken him out of the lead. He's no longer point series leader right now.
He is beside himself, and you were absolutely right. Mark List just watched the series points lead go bye-bye. Right now, let's take a look at some of our lower performing trucks. Jamie Garner overboard, left 30 seconds on the clock. Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken got some big air, but he would roll the truck over. Ryan Disharoon, Saigon Shaker, he would roll the truck as well. Matt Pagliarulo and Jester shreds the body, doesn't get the score, and Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer, did not land the backflip, and she lands near the bottom. Let's take a look at our current freestyle top 5. Tom Menson, Max D, he has the lead. John Gordon, Bad Company in second. Colvinard, Black Pearl in third. Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer in fourth, and Matt Pagliarulo and Jester rounding out our top 5. Coming up, 2 former world champions and a former Rookie of the Year try to wow the St. Louis crowd. Stay right here for more Monster Jam Freestyle. Welcome back to St. Louis. Before we get back to the action, let's take one more look at our current BKT overall event leaderboard through the first 2 competitions. Adam Anderson with 23, Tom Mintz 22, Mark List with 19, Bryce Kenny with 17, and Todd LeDuc with 15 points. Up next is Todd LeDuc in Blue Thunder. Let's check in right now with Leslie Mears. Leslie, what's going on the track?
Todd LeDuc is changing up his complete game plan this year. He said he's going back to the old Metal Militia days, and he's just going to drive with more heart out there. And he said he thinks that's what it's going to take to conquer this track. He said it reminds him a lot of that 2014 Monster Jam World Finals freestyle track, where it's just kind of a jumbled mess out there, and that you can really do a lot if you can get some momentum.
Thank you, Leslie. So Todd LeDuc now needs some momentum here, and he's got some right now in Blue Thunder as he sends it across the backside of the great race lane.
It's so funny how Todd LeDuc is definitely a creature of habit. He always goes out. First hit is usually a slap wheelie, and that's what he does here in Blue Thunder tonight. Another thing Todd had mentioned as well is him taking it a little bit, not really caring about the points, has actually got him in the best position he's ever been in as far as the point series goes. Usually starting out, he's like in 6th or 7th place right away. This year so far, him just kind of doing his thing, enjoying it, driving the way he wants to drive has actually got him in a good position for this series points. Backside.
I attribute a lot of that, you've been talking about his attitude, kind of going out and doing what he can. It's another big jump.
I got to tell you, the momentum is great out of Todd.
There's a lot of pressure on a Monster Energy athlete. I'm just going to say that. A lot of pressure.
Yeah.
He felt a lot of pressure on that now back in Blue Thunder.
Oh, but we're going 8-pack already, Scott. Oh, no pull in the rear. No pull in the rear.
I think the rear end just blew up. Are you good?
Ouch. Yeah, I'm okay.
I think Todd knew that something was wrong with the truck as well. It goes right here, you can see, and then the rear just stops pulling as soon as it hits the backflip. Has no momentum to get the rotation that he needs off that 8-pack backflip.
Here comes Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. He's had his best night so far. We talked about it at halftime. We heard from him with Leslie. And what would a freestyle win here do for Bryce?
This is a big confidence booster. Bryce was having a lot of issues in their previous round in San Antonio. He seems to have overcome them. They were gremlins in the truck, breaking input shafts, drive shafts. Really nothing that was Bryce's fault, but it's just something that happens when you're in Monster Jam, and Bryce is trying to make a comeback right now. And if he can have a good freestyle here, he can shake that monkey off his back.
All it takes is one event to get the confidence going, to get the truck going, and to start getting into a rhythm. Now coming up with a single log, brake checks it a little bit.
Oh, I like it.
Gets a wheelie combo up across the pod, now back down, side swiping that step-up ramp.
There's a little cross towards the other ramps, but gets away from that pod. Going across the center, almost a little short, Bryce. You're going to have to pick it up a little bit more. That was really close.
Started the night with a great racing finish. Just missing out on a win, losing to Adam Anderson in the finals. And now he is going deep here on this turn. I thought he was maybe going to go for an early backflip, but swings it back around.
Going for the step up. I like the momentum, the loud throttle. Ooh, catching a slap wheelie on that one. Can he get around? Oh, bad company down there. Oh, side slap city.
Hard landing there for Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Now back on the red side of the track.
I bet you he felt that in his rib cage.
And now he skips over this side. He's going to the far side of the track to line up for the backflip ramp. Here we go.
Nice momentum going in. I like it. A little bit too much. Oh, he's over.
Look at the back wheels, the tie rods just snapping. Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay.
That great momentum going into the backflip. I think just a little bit too much throttle when he actually hit the container. Over rotates him, lands right on the rear end, breaks the tie rod and puts him on the roof.
All right, before Gravedigger hits the track, let's head back downstairs to Leslie.
Guys, Adam Anderson is a fan of this track. He really likes it because it's different than anything that they've ever run, and he said he's not scared of it. It's definitely a more technical track, and he even called it a little sketchy, but guys, he's here for it.
Adam Anderson is always here for everything, and he has to win freestyle right now to win the event championship.
Yeah, him not being scared might be one thing, but these other drivers better be scared, because a not scared Adam Anderson is going to absolutely go out and throw it down. All these other drivers are talking about how they don't really like this track. For Adam to go say he likes it, it's different. I'm excited to see what he has up his sleeve.
And as long as he comes out here and gets a decent score, he will come out of this event as the current series points leader. Mark Liss with some mechanical failure in the truck now left the door wide open for Adam Anderson to take the series points lead.
Lots of momentum. Big air across the center onto the pad. Uh-oh.
Able to stop it right short of El Toro Loco.
Giving El Toro a little love bump. What's he thinking here? Spinning it back around. Using up the entire track. He's going to go big. Nice downside.
Great downside. Gets both back two tires sliding across the dirt.
I love how he set that up right there.
Does have a freestyle win already in San Antonio.
Going for a slap wheelie. Cross the pad. Uh-oh. Getting a little wild. Gatherers are back up. Here we go. Another slap wheelie. Oh, just big air. Ooh. What we got? What's the time? 38 seconds left on the clock. Come on, Adam, let's go.
Comes off the side of that ramp and hits right on the pod. So change direction and gets up on the pod.
All right, 25 seconds. You got to get the flip in there.
Step up for Adam Anderson. Huge air. Gets it back on a great bounce. And again bumping El Toro Loco. Oh, he may go over here, and he does.
They shut him off.
Damn, man, she broke the hype. Good job, though, bud. Good job.
So a bump to El Toro Loco. Can't get the angle on the turn, and Adam Anderson is done.
I don't understand why they shut him off there, Scott. I can tell you he's probably not going to be happy about that one. He comes in here, since I know he gives him a love tap, but watch the window. You can see his lights come on. He was shut off going into that turn. Unfortunately, unable to save it, but a lot of big air, a lot of slamming that truck in, just like that side slap. Hard on the body of a driver, but Adam doesn't care. He's here to win.
Let's take a look at our top 5 BKT leaderboard in freestyle. Tom Meents with the highest score. John Gordon in second. Cole Vennard, Adam Anderson, and Bryce Ketty in 5th. So Tom Meents getting 12 points for the win. As we take a look at our final overall leaderboard with the freestyle win, Tom Meents is going to win the event championship. He has 34 points. Adam Anderson with 32, Bryce Kenny 25, Cole Vennard 23, and Mark List with 20 points. And right now, let's go downstairs. Leslie Mears with our event champion, Tom Meents.
Tom, you really seemed to build momentum throughout the night. Was it being close to home here this weekend, or what was it that helped you out?
It's a lot of things. You know, we kind of had a bad start in San Antonio. We were doing fantastic freestyles, breaking a little early. It was taking us out. Coming into St. Louis, we started with great momentum in racing and in skills. We always do great in that. We always do great in freestyle. A lot of great work is went into this team. Steve Lashinsky's doing a fantastic job. My new crew chief, I had to pay it back to him and win his first. We did it. It's great to be home.
Been a great night here at the Dome, and we will continue the action right here for round 6 with Stadium Championship Series Red. For Colt Stevens and Leslie Mears, I'm Scott Jordan. We'll see you next time on Monster Jam. Good night.